Good morning, I'm Ted Doering. I'm at the Motorcyclepedia Museum in Newburgh, New York. Today we'll be focusing on the chopper section, which we call Chopper City. Basically, this is the chopper that was conceived probably in the mid-1960s and ran through the early 70s, where people would take stock motorcycles and then customize them to their own liking. This one in back of me here probably was done by possibly a Vietnam veteran or maybe a hippie. So in that time period, 1968, everything kind of came together. We had the war in Vietnam, we had peace demonstrations, we had somewhat drugs coming on the scene, so a lot of unrest. But the expression that could come out through the motorcycle, was really manifested, in the customization. This guy's got hand grenade foot pegs, of course they're deactivated, saying peace on his tank. He's got the pot leaf. So a lot of self-expression here. A lot of these were homemade, or most of them were homemade. It was done by people that were working at minimum wage. Minimum wage in those days was only $1.60 an hour. So at $2 an hour, a guy had $80 a week, maybe 100. But they were able to build these motorcycles, which at this time, you could probably build one for $1,000 to $1,500. So, of course, some were more exotic, if their budget would allow that. So we can see the different paint schemes. Some were done professionally. As far as the components, some were more expensive than others. One of the guys at the forefront would be Ed Roth. Everybody believes that the chopper fad started in California, although some of it started in New York City, like the Bronx, or maybe in Paterson, New Jersey. Ed Roth was primarily a painter, designer, but he always believed in the trikes. So his Mailbox is pretty famous. He built a few of these Volkswagen trikes for different movies. One of his last ones was in the early 90s, and he calls it the Pink Bazooka. He had a solar panel for the ignition. The solar panel would charge the battery just so it could run with the coil and the ignition. You'd have to push start it, but he was ahead of the time with the solar. Of course, he has the Candy Wagon, a lot of tricycles. Most people know him from his car models that kids built as children, the Outlaw, Druid, Princess. He had a lot of exotic names. He passed away in 1999. But he would have been one that was responsible for a lot of the spirit